Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday night presentation of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and we are here to continue in part two of our collective reading of the book, the wonderful book, The Power of Intention, written by Dr. Wayne W. Dyer. It is learning to co create your world your way. It has been amazing so far. This evening, we're going off into, I believe it's chapter 11. It is chapter 11. And chapter 11 is entitled, It is My Intention to Live a Stress Free, Tranquil Life. Live a stress free and tranquil life. I don't know about you, but I know it's definitely my intention to do that very thing. And we're going to read tonight about that, about how to achieve living a stress free and tranquil life. Okay. As you all know, on Tuesday evenings, I jump right in because it is already late. You already just came off of work, and you are, and are you, if you're a parent or if you're a spouse and you want to spend your time and wind down with your family, I don't want to isolate you from doing so for too long, okay? So we're going to jump right in with chapter 11 of part 2 of the book, The Power of Intention. Here we go. It is my intention to live a stress-free, tranquil life. It is led by a quote from Thomas Merton, which reads, "Anxiety is the mark of spiritual insecurity." Anxiety is the mark of spiritual insecurity. That'll teach. That will teach right there. My God. Okay. And then the other quote is it's the author is someone whose name is extremely long, and I don't want to butcher it at all. But Yogananda is the last name, and that quote reads, "So long as we believe in our heart of hearts that our capacity is limited and we grow anxious and unhappy, we are lacking in faith. One who truly trusts in God has no right to be anxious about anything." Listen to me. I'm going to reread the latter part of that statement right there. One who truly trusts in God has no right to be anxious about anything. Listen here. Oh, listen, we can end right now, okay? Because that was, listen, if those were the opening quotes, I am anticipating what is in this chapter. Come on, let's do it. Fulfilling this intention to live a stress free and tranquil life is a way of manifesting your grandest destiny. It seems to me that what our source had in mind when we were intended here is for us to be happy and joyous experiences of life on earth. When you're in a state of joy and happiness, you've returned to the pure, creative, blissful, non judgmental joy that intention truly is. Your natural state, the state from which you were created, is that feeling of well being. This chapter is concerned with having you return to and access this natural state. You were created from a source that is peaceful and joyful. When you're in that state of exuberant joy, you're at peace with everything. This is what intended you here and what you're determined to match up with in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. In a state of joy, you feel fulfilled and inspired in all facets of your life. In short, gaining freedom from anxiety and stress is a pathway to rejoicing with the field of intention. The moments of your life which you spend being happy and joyful and allowing yourself to be fully alive and on purpose are the times when you're aligned with the all creating universal mind of intention. There's nothing natural about living a life filled with stress and anxiety, having feelings of despair and depression, and needing pills to tranquilize yourself. I'm going to read that again. There's nothing natural about living a life filled with stress and anxiety, having feelings of despair and depression, and needing pills to tranquilize yourself. Agitated thoughts that produce high blood pressure, a nervous stomach, persistent feelings of discomfort, an inability to relax or sleep, and frequent displays of displeasure and outrage are violating your natural state. Believe it or not, you have the power to create the naturally stress free and tranquil life you desire. You can utilize this power to attract frustration or joy, anxiety or peace. When you're in harmony with the seven faces of intention, you can access and pull from the source of all in order to fulfill your intention of being stress free and tranquil. So, if it's natural to have feelings of well being, why is it that we seem to experience so much unwellness and tension? The answer to this question provides you with the key that leads to the peaceful life you desire. Next section, Stress is a desire of the ego. Stress is a desire of the ego. That pesky ego is at work when you're experiencing stress or anxiety. Perhaps your ego self feels more effective dealing with and coping with stress because you'll feel you're actually doing something in the world. Perhaps it's habit, custom, or believing that this is the right way to be. Only you can analyze the why. But the fact is that stress is familiar and tranquility is unfamiliar. So ego desires stress. But there's no actual stress or anxiety in the world. It's your thoughts that create these false beliefs. You can't package stress, touch it, or see it. There are only people engaged in stressful thinking. When we think stressfully, we create reactions in the body, valuable messages or signals requesting our attention. These messages might reveal themselves as nausea, elevated blood pressure, stomach tension, indigestion, ulcers, headaches, increased heart rate, difficulty breathing, and a zillion other feelings, from minor discomfort to serious, life threatening illnesses. We speak of stress as if it were present in the world as something that attacks us. We say things like, I'm having an anxiety attack, or as if anxiety is a combatant. But the stress in your body is rarely the result of external forces or entities attacking you. It's the result of the weakened connecting link to intention caused by your belief that ego is who you are. You are peace and joy, but you've allowed your ego to dominate your life. Here's a short list of stress inducing thoughts that originate in your ego self. One, it's more important to be right than to be happy. Two, winning is the only thing. When you lose, you should be stressed. Three, your reputation is more important than your relationship with your source. Four, success is measured in dollars and accumulations rather than in feeling happy and content. And five, being superior to others is more important than being kind to others. Those are stress inducing thoughts. Okay. The following lighthearted way to stop taking yourself so seriously is from a book by Rosamund and Benjamin Zander. He's the conductor of the Boston Philharmonic, titled The Art of Possibility. It illustrates in a delightful way how we allow ego to create many of the problems we encounter that we label stress and anxiety. It reads, two prime ministers are sitting in a room discussing affairs of state. Suddenly, a man burst in, apoplectic with fury, shouting and stamping and banging his fist on the desk. The resident prime minister admonishes him. Peter, he says, kindly remember rule number 6, whereupon Peter is instantly restored to complete calm, apologizes, and withdraws. The politicians return to their conversations only to be interrupted yet again 20 minutes later by a hysterical woman gesticulating wildly, her hair flying. Again, the intruder is greeted with the words, Marie, please remember rule number 6. Complete calm descends once more, and she too withdraws with a bow and an apology. When the scene is repeated for a third time, the visiting prime minister addresses his colleague. My dear friend, I've seen many things in my life, but never again had as remarkable as this. Would you be willing to share with me the secret of rule number 6? Very simple, replies the resident prime minister. Rule number 6 is don't take yourself so goddamn seriously. Hilarious. Ah, says his visitor. That is a fine rule. After a moment of pondering, he inquires, and what, may I ask, are the other rules? There aren't any. That's hilarious. Oh, that is so funny. But that is so true. Don't take yourself so seriously. Okay, continuing to read. As you encounter stress, pressure, or anxiety in your life, remember rule number 6. At the moment you realize you're thinking stressful thoughts. By noticing and discontinuing the inner dialogue that's causing stress, you may be able to prevent physical symptoms. What are the inner thoughts that produce stress? I'm more important than those around me. My expectations aren't being met. I shouldn't have to wait. I'm too important. I'm the customer here and I demand attention. No one else has these pressures. All of the above, along with potentially endless inventory of rule number 6 thoughts, are from the ego's bag of tricks. You aren't your work, your accomplishments, your possessions, your home, your family, your anything. You're an aspect of the power of intention, dressed in a physical human body intended to experience and enjoy life on earth. This is the intention that you want to bring to the presence of stress. Bringing intention to the presence of stress. In any given day, you have hundreds of opportunities to implement rule number 6 by bringing the power of intention into the moment and eliminating the potential for stress. Here are a few examples of how I've employed this strategy. In each of these examples, I activated an inner thought that was in vibrational harmony with the universal field of intention, and I fulfilled my personal intention to be tranquil. These examples occurred in a 3-hour period of a normal day. I offer them to you to remind you that stress and anxiety are choices that we make to process events rather than entities that are out there waiting to invade our lives. I'm dropping off a prescription at the drugstore, and the person ahead of me is talking to the pharmacist, asking a series of seemingly inane questions, all of which my stress producing ego tells me are intended to deliberately delay and annoy me. My inner dialogue might go like this: I'm being victimized. There's always someone just ahead of me in line who fumbles with money, can't find what's needed to prove participation in some kind of insurance plan, and has to ask silly questions designed to keep me from dropping off my prescription. I use those thoughts as a signal to change my inner dialogue to: Wayne, stop taking yourself so goddamn seriously. I immediately make the shift from pissed to blissed. I take the focus off of myself, and at the same time, I remove resistance to my intention to live a stress free and tranquil life. I now see this person as an angel who's ahead of me in line to assist me in reconnecting to intention. I stop judging and actually see beauty in the slow, deliberate gestures. I'm kind in my mind towards this angel. I've moved from hostility to joy in my thoughts, and my emotions have shifted from discomfort to stress to ease. Stress is absolutely impossible in the moment. Good. My 17-year-old daughter tells me about her disagreement with the school official who's taken action against some of her friends, an act she considers totally unfair. It's Saturday morning and nothing can be done until Monday. The choice: spend 2 days in misery replaying the details of her story and have a weekend of inner stress, or remind her how to activate those thoughts that will make her feel good. I ask her to describe her feelings. She responds that she's angry, upset, and hurt. I ask her to think about rule number 6 and see if there's any other thought she could activate. She laughs at me, telling me how crazy I am, but she admits it really doesn't make any sense to be upset for the entire weekend, and I'm going to stop thinking thoughts that make me feel bad. On Monday, we'll do what we can do to rectify the situation, I tell her. But for now, and now is all I have, put rule number 6 into play and rejoin the field of intention where stress, anxiety, and pressure don't exist. That's good. To fulfill the intention of this chapter, to live a stress free and tranquil life, you must become conscious of the need to activate the thought responses that match your intention. These new responses will become habitual and replace your old habit of responding in stress producing ways. When you examine segments of stress producing incidents, you always have a choice. Do I stay with thoughts that produce stress within me, or do I work to activate thoughts that make stress impossible? Here's another easy tool that will help you replace the habit of choosing anxiety and stress. 5 magic words. I want to feel good. 5 magic words. I want to feel good. Okay. In an earlier chapter, I described how your emotions are a guidance system informing you of whether or not you're creating resistance to your intentions. Feeling bad lets you know that you're not connected to the power of intention. Your intention here is to be tranquil and stress free. When you feel good, you're connected to your intentions. regardless of what goes on around you or what others expect you to feel. And if there's a war going on, you still have the option to feel good. If the economy goes further into the toilet, you have the option to feel good. In the event of any catastrophe, you can still feel good. Feeling good isn't an indication that you're callous, indifferent, or cruel. It's a choice you make. Say it out loud. I want to feel good. Then convert it to I intend to feel good. Feel the stress and then send it the love and respect of the seven faces of intention. The seven faces smile and say hello to what you label as feeling bad. It's that feeling that wants to feel good. You must be you must be to your feelings as your source is to you in order to counteract the desires of your ego. That's good. You must be to your feelings as your source is to you. Mm. Many events will transpire in which your conditioned response is to feel bad. Be aware of these outer incidents and say the five magic words. I want to feel good. In that precise moment, ask yourself if feeling bad is going to make the situation any better. You'll discover that the only thing that feeling bad accomplishes in response to outer situations is to plummet you into anxiety, despair, and depression. And of course, stress. Instead, ask yourself in that moment what thought you can have that will make you feel good. When you discover that it's responding with kindness and love to the bad feeling, which is quite different from wallowing in it, you'll begin experiencing a shift in your emotional state. Now you're in a vibrational harmony with your source, since the power of intention knows only peace, kindness, and love. This newly activated thought, which allows you to feel good, may only last a few moments, and you might go back to your previous way of processing unpleasant events. Also, treat the old way of processing with respect and love and understanding, but remember that it's your ego self trying to protect you from its perception of danger. Any stress signal in a way of alerting you to say the five magic words, I want to feel good. Stress wants your attention. By saying the five magic words and extending love to your bad feeling, you'll have begun the process of fulfilling your stated intention of being tranquil and stress free. Now you can practice activating those thoughts in the toughest of memories. And before long, you'll be living the message offered to you, to all of us in the book of Job. You will decide on a matter and it will be established for you, and light will shine on your ways. That's Job 22:28. The word light in this biblical reference means that you'll have the assistance of the divine mind of intention once you decide on a matter that is consistent with that light. I assure you that your decision to feel good is a way of connecting to spirit. It isn't an indifferent response to events. By feeling good, you become an instrument of peace. And it's through this channel that you eradicate problems. By feeling bad, you stay in the energy field that creates resistance to positive change and experience a stressful, anxious state as a byproduct. The things you call problems will perpetually present themselves to you. They'll never go away. Resolve one and another will resurface. That is so true. Next section, you'll never get it done. You'll never get it done. In chapter 6, I reminded you of your infinite nature. Since you're an infinite spiritual being disguised as a temporary human being, it's essential to understand that in infinity, there's no beginning and no ending. Therefore, your desires, goals, hopes, and dreams will never be finished, ever. As soon as you manifest one of your dreams, another will most assuredly pop up. The nature of the universal force of intention from which you immigrated into a temporary material being is always creating and giving forth. Furthermore, it's in a continuous state of expansion. Your desires to manifest into your life are a part of this infinite nature. Even if you desire to have no desires, that's a desire. I urge you to simply accept the fact that you'll never get it all done and begin to live more fully in the only moment that you have, which is now. The secret to removing the harmful effects of feeling stress and under pressure is to be in the now. Announce out loud to yourself and and all who are willing to listen to you. I'm an incomplete being. I'll always be incomplete because I can never get it done. Therefore, I choose to feel good while I'm in this moment, attracting into my life the manifestations of my desires. I am complete in my incompleteness. I know that's right. I can assure you that a follow-up on this statement will eradicate all anxiety and stress, which is precisely the intention of this chapter. All resistance melts away when you can feel complete in your incompletion. That's good. Next section, the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance. You live in a universe that has limitless potential and joy built into the creation process. Your source, which we call the universal mind of intention, adores you beyond anything you can possibly imagine. When you adore yourself in the same proportion, you're matched up with the field of intention and you've opted for the path of no resistance. As long as you have even a pinch of ego, you'll retain some resistance. So I urge you to take the path in which resistance is minimized. The shape and quantity of your thoughts determine the amount of resistance. Thoughts that generate bad feelings are resistant thoughts. Any thought that puts a barrier between you and between what you would like to have and your ability to attract it into your life is resistance. Your intention is to live in a tranquil life, free of stress and anxiety. You know that stress doesn't exist in the world and that there are only people thinking stressful thoughts. So stress doesn't exist in the world itself, like air, water, whatever, or rain or whatever. It's only people that thinking stressful thoughts that bring stress. Stressful thoughts all by themselves are a form of resistance. You don't want stressful, resistant thoughts to be your habitual way of reacting to your world. By practicing thoughts of minimal resistance, you'll train yourself to make this your natural way of reacting. And eventually, you'll become the tranquil person you desire to be, a stress free person free of dis ease that stress brings to the body. Stressful thoughts all by themselves are the resistance that you construct that impedes your connection to the power of intention. We're in a world that advertises and promotes reasons to be anxious. You've been taught that feeling good in a world where so much suffering exists is an immoral stance to take. You've been convinced that choosing to feel good in a bad economic times, in times of war, or in times of uncertainty or death, or in the face of any catastrophe anywhere in the world is crass and inappropriate. Since these conditions will always be in the world someplace, you believe you can't have joy and still be a good person. But it may not have occurred to you that in a universe based on energy and attraction, thoughts that evoke feeling bad originate in the same energy source that attracts more of the same into its life, into your life. These are resistant thoughts. That's law of attraction. That is the law of attraction. That's how it works. That whatever thoughts that you emit from you are the things that show up to you, for you. Okay? Here are some examples of sentences on the path of resistance, which are then changed to sentences on the path of least resistance. Okay? Here's the path of resistance. I feel uneasy about the state of the economy. I've already lost so much money. Here's the path of least resistance. I live in an abundant universe. I choose to think about what I have and I will be fine. The universe will provide. Yes, sir. Path of resistance. I have so many things to do that I can never get caught up. Least resistance. I'm at peace in this moment. I'll only think about the one thing I'm doing. I will have peaceful thoughts. I know that's right. Resistance. I can never get ahead in this job. Least resistance. I choose to appreciate what I'm doing right now, and I'll attract even more greater opportunity. Resistance. My health is a huge concern. I worry about getting old and becoming dependent and sick. Least resistance. I'm healthy, and I think healthy. I live in a universe that attracts healing, and I refuse to anticipate sickness. Resistance. My family members are causing me to feel anxious and fearful. Least resistance. I choose thoughts that make me feel good, And this will help me uplift those family members in need. Resistance. I don't deserve to feel good when so many people are suffering. Least resistance. I didn't come into a world where everyone is going to have the same identical experiences. I'll feel good. And by being uplifted, I'll help eradicate some of the suffering. Yes. Resistance. I can't be happy when the person I really care about loves another and has abandoned me. Least resistance. Feeling bad won't change the scenario. I trust that love will return into my life if I'm in harmony with the loving source. I choose to feel good right now and focus on what I have rather than what's missing. Come on, gratitude. That's what I'm talking about. All stressful thoughts represent a form of resistance you wish to eradicate. Change those thoughts by monitoring your feelings and opting for joy rather than anxiety, and you'll access the power of intention. Nice. Next section, making your intention your reality. Making your intention your reality. Below is my 10-step program for creating a stress-free, tranquil life. Step 1, remember that your natural state is joy. Remember that your natural state is joy. You are a product of joy and love. It's natural for you to experience these feelings. You've come to believe that feeling bad, anxious, or even depressed is natural, particularly when people and events around you are in low energy moods. Remind yourself as frequently as necessary, I come from peace and joy. I must stay in harmony with that from which I came in order to fulfill my dreams and desires. I choose to stay in my natural state. Anytime I'm anxious, stressed out, depressed, or fearful, I've abandoned my natural state. That's it. Step 2, your thoughts, not the world, cause you stress. Your thoughts, not the world, causes you stress. Your thoughts activate stressful reactions in your body. Stressful thoughts create resistance to the joy, happiness, and abundance that you desire to create in your life. These thoughts include I can't, I'm too overworked, I worry, I'm afraid, I'm unworthy, it will never happen, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old or young, and so on. These thoughts are like a program to resist being tranquil and stress free, and they keep you from manifesting your desires. Step 3, you can change your thoughts of stress in any given moment and eliminate the anxiety for the next few minutes or even hours and days. You can change your thoughts of stress in any given moment and eliminate the anxiety for the next few moments or even hours and days. By making a conscious decision to distract yourself from worry, you've inaugurated the process of stress reduction while simultaneously reconnecting to the field of all creating intention. It's from this place of peace and tranquility that you become a co creator with God. You can't be connected to your source and be stressed at the same time. This is mutually exclusive. Your source doesn't create from a position of anxiety, nor does it need to swallow antidepressants. You've left behind your capacity to manifest your desires when you don't choose in the moment to eliminate a stressful thought. That's good. Step 4. Monitor your stressful thoughts by checking on your emotional state right in the moment. Monitor your stressful thoughts by checking on your emotional state right in the moment. Ask yourself the key question: do I feel good right now? If the answer is no, then repeat those 5 magic words. I want to feel good. Then shift to I intend to feel good. Monitor your emotions and detect how much stress and anxiety producing thinking you're engaging in. This monitoring process keeps you apprised of whether you're on the path of least resistance or going in the other direction. Step 5, make a conscious choice to select the thought that will activate good feelings. Make a conscious choice to select a thought that will activate good feelings. I urge you to choose your thought based exclusively on how it makes you feel, rather than on how popular it is or how well advertised. Ask yourself, does this new thought make me feel good? No. Well, how about this thought? Not really. Here's another. Ultimately, you'll come up with one that you agree makes you feel good. if only temporary. Your choice might be the thought of a beautiful sunset, the expression on the face of someone you love, or a thrilling experience. It's only important that it resonate within you emotionally and physically as a good feeling. In the moment of experiencing an anxious or stressful thought, change to the thought you chose, which makes you feel good. Plug it in, think it, and feel it in your body if you can. This new thought that makes you feel good will be of appreciation rather than depreciation. It will be of love, beauty, receptivity to happiness. Or, in other words, it will align perfectly with those seven phases of intention I've been harping about since the opening pages of this. Step 6, spend some time observing babies and vow to emulate their joy. Oh, yes. Spend some time observing babies and vow to emulate their joy. That's it right there. You didn't come forth into this world to suffer, to be anxious, fearful, stressful, or depressed. You came from the God consciousness of joy. Just watch little babies. They've done nothing to be so happy about. They don't work, they poop in their pants, and they have no goals other than to expand, grow, and explore this amazing world. They love everyone. They're completely entertained by a plastic bottle or goofy faces, and they're in constant state of love. Yet they have no teeth, no hair, and they're pudgy and flatulent. How could they possibly be so joyful and easily pleased? Because they're still in harmony with the source that intended them here. They have no resistance to being joyful. Be like that baby you once were in terms of being joyful. You don't need a reason to be happy. Your desire to be so is sufficient. That is good right there. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Step 7, keep rule number 6 in mind. Keep rule number 6 in mind. This means to suspend the demands of your ego, which keep you separated from intention. When you have a choice to be right or to be kind, pick kind and push the ego's demand out of the way. Kindness is what you emanated from. And by practicing it, rather than being right, you eliminate the possibility of stress in your moment of kindness. When you find yourself being impatient with anyone, simply say to yourself, rule number 6, and you'll immediately laugh at the piddly little ego that wants you to be first, faster, number one, and to be treated better than the other guy. That's so true. Step 8, accept the guidance of your source of intention. Accept the guidance of your source of intention. You will only come to know the Father by being as He is. You'll only be able to access the guidance of His field of intention by being as it is. Stress, anxiety, and depression will be lifted from you with the assistance of that same force that created you. If it can create worlds out of nothing and you out of nothing, surely the removal of some stress isn't such a big task. I believe that God's desire for you is that you not only know joy, but that you become it. That's it. Step 9, practice being in silence and meditation. Practice being in silence and meditation. Nothing relieves stress, depression, anxiety, and all forms of low energy emotions like silence and meditation. Here, you make conscious contact with your source and cleanse your connecting link to intention. Take time every day for moments of quiet contemplation and make meditation a part of your stress reducing ritual. I do it at least 5 times a day, at least. And he's absolutely right. Step 10, as always, stay in a state of gratitude and awe. Stay in a state of gratitude and awe. Go on a rampage of appreciation for all that you have, all that you are, and all that you observe. Gratitude is the 10th step in every 10-step program for manifest or intentions because it's the surest way to stop the incessant inner dialogue that leads you away from the joy and perfection of the source. you can't feel stress and appreciation at the same time. That is so true. I conclude this chapter on your intention to lead a tranquil life with a poem by the famous Bengali poet of Calcutta, one of my favorite spiritual teachers. It reads, I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted and behold, service was joy. That's awesome. I love that. It can all be joy in your inner world. Sleep and dream of joy. And remember, above all, you feel good not because the world is right, but your world is right because you feel good. That's good. Oh man. That is good, man. That was today's chapter. Chapter 11. It is my intention to live a stress-free and tranquil life. Beautiful, beautiful. The next chapter that we're going to be reading together, you all see it entitled Intention to Attract Ideal People and Divine Relationships. Come on here, okay? It is my intention to attract ideal people and divine relationships. It's first of all timing, God's timing. My goodness. Listen, God's timing is always perfect. Always. Not notice I didn't say our timing, okay? Cuz we want things now. It is my money and I want it now. However, our unless we align ourselves with our source and trust, know, love, and allow God to do how God does, then our timing and clocks and things might be off, right? But when we align ourselves with God, knowing, trusting, loving, and allowing God, then when God says yes, which it's always yes, okay? In our time, we may want it now, but it may not be now. It may not be a no. It may just very well be not right now, okay? So when God says yes to the now moment, then that's the perfect time. When babies are born and some say prematurely, no, 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 no. No such thing. That baby came when that baby was supposed to, okay? It's not by happenstance that this is happening right now, especially going into the next chapter, which is talking about attracting ideal people and divine relationships. We're in the time right now. We just experienced yesterday a full moon lunar eclipse in Libra, which obviously we all know. Well, those who are familiar with the zodiac and astrology, then you know that Libra is ruled by Venus, which Venus is the planet of love, beauty, relationships, all of those things. And so knowing that in a few more days we're going to be going into attracting ideal people and divine relationships, it's not by happenstance. The timing of these chapters are amazing. The timing of these chapters, just 2 sessions ago, last Sunday, we were talking about relatives and how, how it is our intention to be in divine alignment with our family and relatives. And it's crazy because right after that, my family had a Zoom call and it just blew our minds. By the end of that Zoom call, okay, everybody was crying and and for life, for growth, for expansion, for our bloodline, for what we've gained over the course of this life. Just really identifying the things that make us blessed. Okay, we have many things that we could dwell on, harp on, things from years and years ago, but why? Because the past is gone. It will never come again. It can never undo itself. The future is not even here. We can't even we don't even belong up there, okay? Because it hasn't happened yet. Who's to say that we will even see tomorrow? The only moment that we ever had was now. I don't care how many years passed. In those years that we were experiencing, every only time that we ever had was now. Right now. Right now. And in this right now moment, on that family Zoom call, we said, right now, in this moment, and we exude love for ourselves and for each other. In this moment, we are peace, and peace resides on the inside of us. And no matter what tries to penetrate that, we won't allow it in this moment right here. And then every moment after that, every other now moment after that, we have to make those same declarations and those same choices and decisions to be love, be peace, be joy, be blood, be family, right? And that's what it is. Moment by moment, we choose, moment by moment. Like he said in the book, you can choose to be angry or you can choose to be kind. You can choose to be peace or you can choose to be frustrated. Moment by moment, there are choices to be made. Okay. And each choice is followed by results. So I've lived a number of my years being angry, being, uh, feeling betrayed or lonely or sad or whatever the case, all debilitating, low vibrating energies that I am not, that's not my natural state. That's not my natural state. My natural state is joy. I was formed in love. I was formed in happiness. You were formed in love and happiness. And so if we're feeling anything outside of our natural ingredients, what we were formed in, then you have disconnected from your natural source. You have stepped away from who you are, and you've taken on and put and become something that you're not. We were to be in, not of it, in this world, not of this world. And if we have come away from our natural state in our thinking, in our words, in our bodies, in our actions, in our relating to others, because just as we're one with God, we are one with each other. I am you, you are me. So when I see you, I should see the God in you. I should address the God in you. When you see me, you should see the God in me. You should address the God in me as you would as you were speaking to God himself, herself, itself. Period. That's what it is. We are one of one. We are embodiments of God as God on this earth. We are doing God's business here in this realm. And through each one of us, God does work. God moves. God lives. God has its being. So how dare we? How dare we infiltrate a God body with those low debilitating energies that you were not made of? Choose peace. Choose joy. Choose it. Choose it. You are the curator of this human iteration experience. And it's up to you. It's an interactive game. Every moment, moment by moment, you have a choice. And you can choose to have a phenomenal outcome, to have a phenomenal day. You can choose to have a phenomenal meal, to have a phenomenal relationship, to have a phenomenal job, a phenomenal connection with nature, a phenomenal connection with your dog. You can choose to have all of these things. And everything that is happening in your life is a result of your curation. Co-creating. Yeah. So you don't like something? Change it. Choose differently. Simple. Simple. I love this. This is good. This is good. We are back here on Sunday, you all. Listen, if you do not have the book, I say this every time we come online. To receive an ebook of our reading material, inbox us with your email address. Inbox us, back channel us, wherever you are watching from. We are blessed to be on several platforms. We're on Clubhouse, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, also known as X. Okay. I can't take X seriously. Okay. I'm from Chicago, and Willis Tower is still Sears to me. Okay. I'm just saying. I don't know Willis. I don't know X. So Twitter it is, all right? You all can email me here at info@biancamissblee.com. That's info@biancamissblee.com. On Clubhouse, it's right above my head. You can just tap the link above my head. It'll take you straight to my website, okay? Speaking of website, for those who are watching via video, it's on the screen, biancamissblee.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at any platform, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. It's all Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, okay? Alrighty, you all listen. We are back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. If you want to go to the website and you can book a service, a therapy session, a life and purpose coaching session. I do. I have programs, workshops. I have my books there. Merchandise is on my website as well as on. So I don't mind. Okay, as long as you get your stuff. Okay. Alrighty, you all. And that's it. That's it. We'll see you back here on Sunday. Remember, I love you. I mean it. There is absolutely, positively nothing you can do about it. Don't you even try it. It will not work. Okay. Alrighty, you all. We'll see you back here on Sunday. Have a great evening and a great rest of your week. Peace.